Picking up where we left off, last week I had ended the video as a part 1 of 2, since in this session I had played a lot longer than I thought I had. This is the continuation of my Pokemon random type Nuzlocke. I'm kind of rushing through this since I'm having less time to edit this than I would have liked due to needing to get something up by Friday. So I spent some time looking through the Pokemon stats and just switching Pokemon out as needed. I'll try and explain it where I can. To start off, we spent some time just doing some training and then going immediately to the gym to start testing the waters with the trainers. First trainer is opened with an Articuno. At this point, our Rogue was at a level 14. Whenever they learn a move, I try to remember to open up the Pokemon's summary outside of battle so I can take a look at it. Unfortunately, I still, at this time, had not fixed the formatting for my recording. That's not going to be until a while. I also end up going back to the Pokemon Center a lot between fights. I tend to play very cautiously, overly cautiously, I would even say. The trainers aren't really too big a deal, although before I faced the gym leader, I do believe I actually did some more leveling, because I started getting afraid that I was falling back to my old habit of having one way over leveled Pokemon and a bunch of weak ones. So I just spent some time trying to bring up Android 25 and the others. The reason I had a video last week was that I was going to the convention. That is now over, obviously. It was a lot of fun. I can't talk about too much because I don't want people to recognize me. But I went there with two of my friends, and one of my friends got to meet someone that they greatly admire. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Alright, I think this is where I found out that Wingull has Wonder Card, so training on Wingull is not really an option. It took me a little bit longer than I'd like to admit to realize that. Eventually, feared I should run away, so I did. And then I started fighting, just to avoid more Wingull, I started fighting in the Orberg mines, where I mostly fought Cherubi. Like, more than half the fights were Cherubi fights. And I just had to remove them because there were so many of them. I did a little bit of switch training once Android 25 got weak. I think I took a bit more of a risk than was worth it with how often I would even start a fight with an injured Pokemon. I honestly should know better, but sometimes you don't think about these things until it's too late. This week I'm recording a video instead of doing a live stream just because I agreed to run D&D for a group of kids, try and introduce them to the world D&D. So I'm just going to be a little bit busy this Friday. Hopefully I can get back to a regular schedule, although I have my own personal campaign that should meet up soon, so I'll actually need to edit yet another video. Luckily, I recently graduated from college, so I find myself with more time to do things such as editing videos. I was really trying not to do too much switch training, again just to avoid having an over-leveled starter and an under-leveled everyone else. So I try to really focus on Android 25 for now, and then so on and so forth. I was going to stop using Rogue to switch train once he was a level 20. At which point I would try to, leave him out of the training where I can. Like the other times, I am doing this narration after editing. That was how I decided to do it. Once I get to the live stream recordings, I'll be leaving in more of the audio from the live stream and just have the voiceovers where necessary. I guess I should probably go over the rules one more time, just because it is a different video. I can only catch the first Pokemon I find in each area. If I fail to catch that first Pokemon, I just don't catch a Pokemon. The exception being with Dupe's Claws. If I've already caught a Pokemon of a particular family line, I can choose to not catch the Pokemon and try and find another Pokemon instead. The randomized type Nuzlocke has the Pokemon typing randomized, obviously, but I've also randomized what moves they learn, what items wild Pokemon can hold. I randomized what items appear in the overworld. Oh, and here we lose Android 25 to a Manaphy. Just, I was alluding to it before, but yeah. You really need to remember not to just speed through fights too quickly and actually make sure to heal your Pokemon before running that kind of a risk. All around, it was just, I was being stupid. So I switched to Rogue, beat the Manaphy, still gotta get that XP. And I have to switch out what Pokemon I'm training up. I have to end up taking the wide lens from it, because I had to make sure the item went to a Pokemon that would make better use of it. I think I gave it to Ball. Yeah. I then switched Ball in so I can start training Ball up. This sucks because Ball is a low enough level that I kind of forced to switch train. Yeah, I tried for a bit, but yeah, not gonna happen. And Rogue is already pretty high up there, so I don't want to... I have to be really careful with the balance of things. Oh, and here is where ASMR evolves. ASMR really is just the tank that carried us through pretty much every fight. Especially here, he learns Water Spout, which is a base power 150 that deals that much damage when you're at full health. So as soon as you send it out, it's going to be dealing that much damage. Same type attack bonus, blah 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 blah. It's really strong. So yeah, I lose the less powerful water move of the same damage type, because there's physical and there's special. And now I have a beast of a Pokemon. I believe it even uses the special attack. I can't remember specifically. The ability, I believe, changed. Yeah, the ability changed to Damp. Previously, it was something that keeps Pokemon from escaping back combat. Here, it prevents Pokemon from using Explosion, which I honestly think it's still a very niche ability, but that is such an important ability, I don't mind it at all. And then, of course, put Android 25 in Elysian. Android 25, you deserve better. Problem is that Android 25 was a Steel type and Manaphy was using Eruption. A Fire type move that is very like Water Spout, only for fire. Absolutely devastating. I think I go straight to the gym after this. Yeah, here we go. Opening up with ASMR, thinking, you know what, I'm just going to power through this and get on to the next area. I don't want to stick around too much. I want to try and power ahead to where I can get the EXP share. Of course, Water Spout absolutely obliterates his Pokemon. If a Pokemon dies, the reason I'm not deleting them in the PC is that if I find a, what's it called, Miracle Herb or something? That's not right. There's an item that in a regular playthrough revives all your Pokemon, restores them to full health. In some Nuzlocke communities, oh, ASMR nearly died. But in some Nuzlocke communities, the item instead will bring back one of your fainted Pokemon. So that's why I put them in Elysium. When I get to the Underground Man, I can only dig up one fossil from the underground. However, every fossil I find above ground, I'm treating as fair game. Because there's a limited number of above ground items, it's not an infinite number of Pokemon. That's just how I rule it. Obviously, that's not standard. I don't think I've seen anyone else do that. Although, I also haven't really seen anyone do a Nuzlocke where they randomize above ground items. So, make of that what you will. I try not to overlevel too much. Although, I just don't care enough to look ahead and see what levels the next difficult boss battle will have. So I try to limit by having it be multiples of 5, but that ends up being too much, so later on in the run I slow down quite a bit. It says here that I got Stealth Rock. That is not true. Since all the TMs are also randomized, I forgot to mention, is instead Double Slap, which I don't think I use it. Like, what use is the move for me? I try to save TMs to use as late as possible, or at least until I know what my final team should be. Although sometimes I'll use it if it's just a slight improvement, or if... Actually, I don't think I use it even then. I probably should be using TMs more often, is what I'm trying to say. Before going back, I make sure to grab myself a bunch of Pokeballs, because I was completely out. You always want to buy 10 at a time, so you can also get the additional Premier Ball. Speaking of the convention, one thing I always do is I like to get my mother a toy Pokeball that she doesn't already have. I then make my way all the way back to Jubilife Town? I forget. This is where we get a little bit more story-relevant nonsense. First with the police officer, Looker. He just lets us know he's not going to be in Jubilife anymore. Which is actually kind of strange now I think about it, because I don't think you can actually talk to him at all outside of cutscenes, except for one part. Going up, we get the first Team Galactic battle, in which they're harassing the professor, and the professor is insulting them. In this part, I team up with Dawn. I mentioned this before. The first time I get to these story-relevant things, I'll try to go over them. But in future videos, if I lose and then do another run, I will skip over these story beats that I deem unnecessary or unimpressive unless something significant happens. Yeah, I forgot that Azurill was the final starter. ASMR just bullies all the, spends a while bullying some Pokemon. This time around the convention, I got my mother a Quick Ball, which is nice. I'm still looking to get, like, the Timer Ball and all that stuff. Anyways, after we beat the Team Galactic Grunts, they run off. We are approached by some guy with a fashion case, and then I'm going to head into that Jubilife television station. I do try and do a fashion, just because I felt like it, but I made a miscalculation when it asked me about saving, and as a result, it was just time wasted. When I go in there, the first thing I do is obviously to check the lottery ticket. I don't really remember to do that very often. I've only ever got that to work once. I also check out some other areas. I basically just walk around Jubilife for a little bit before moving on. Once I do finally get around to moving on, I come to realize that I had completely missed this trainer somehow. It's a good thing I walked just a little bit too far, or else I might have walked right past him again. I completely annihilated it because such a difference in level. Then after I do go up, it occurs to me that I should probably check to see if I battled her. Lo and behold, I had forgotten to battle her before as well. So that's 2 battles I could have and probably should have done a while ago. When I get in the cave, first thing I do is I make sure to teach one of my Pokemon Rock Smash. I had taught Android 25 Rock Smash, but obviously Android 25 didn't make it. I think I ended up teaching it to Ball. Kind of like turning them into a Wrecking Ball. No, they're not really, since it's still a normal type. I should come in here a long time ago. This would have been a free encounter. So I grabbed a heal powder, smashed the rock, and was about to continue on before realizing I hadn't actually gotten an encounter for this area. Otherwise, I would have picked up that item. And so I spent some time walking back and forth, just trying to get the encounter. My encounter ended up being Dragonite, I think? Yeah, Dragonite. There we go. Level 3, so I couldn't really attack it with ASMR. This is going to be a very difficult catch since it's a final stage evolution Pokemon. So it's going to have a really low catch rate. I open up with the Pokeball, just hoping. I think I switch into Ball? Do I only throw Pokeballs? There's no way that worked, right? Surely I caught on at some point. Anyways, that showed me that Dragonite was a poison type, reminding me to tear up a little bit over the loss of Android 25. Finally catch on and switch in Ball, only to be poisoned immediately, which sucks. Didn't attack, was hit by Poison Jab, and very nearly lost Ball. I obviously switched out again because I'm not going to lose Ball here. That's ridiculous. I don't remember who I switched into. Oh, Rogue. So I couldn't really attack the Rogue. I don't remember what my strategy was here. I guess I was just trying to get it to use up all of its own moves, start hurting itself. Which is always like a very risky thing to do when your opponent's Pokemon is a poison type. Eventually I realized that and I just threw a Pokeball and it worked, surprisingly. It was still above yellow, but it worked out. Did it deserve to work out? I don't really think so, but it did. Ah, right, Cobra. That's what I ended up calling it. Cobra with a K. Because it's edgy and cool. Ability being unaware. Meh. I think it's good, but I honestly don't recall. So right now, my team is Rogue, Ball, ASMR, Cobra, and Lamp, I think? ASMR still dominates with Water Spout. Found a Razor Claw. Yeah, I immediately give that to something. Right, I think I gave that... Okay, I later switch... I feel like I had switched that out with ASMR at some point. Gave it something else. But I honestly can't recall. I then went through the trainers in the area. I skipped the 2 girls at first because I wanted to do one more bit of healing before facing them. Nothing of note actually happened in any of these fights. I didn't really need to heal before facing the 2 girls, but I did anyways. Just because I felt like it, I guess. First, I make sure to grab this TM.
Aerial Ace this time around. Normally that's Bullet Seed, I believe. Or wait, no. Bullet Seed is the one given to you by Gardenia. I don't remember what's... No, I'm pretty sure that's Bullet Seed. What does Gardenia give you? Ingrain? It's something like that. I don't end up using it. Unfortunately, I can't catch a Pokemon up here because it counts as the same area as what's between the cave entrance and the town. A little bit annoying, kind of ridiculous, but I didn't need that encounter anyways. Actually, right now I have 2 encounters coming up. I should make... No, I'm going to make note of this right now. I didn't do it in this session, but I treat the Drifloon encounter as being separate from the air encounter because it's a special encounter. Not everyone does that. A lot of people use the method of what does it say when you look at your Pokemon summary, where it says where you met them. But for some reason, I feel like special encounters are different than the regular encounters. So, in this game, that means Drifloon, that means the Rotom encounter, that means the Spiritomb encounter. And yes, I do use cheat code to enable the Spiritomb encounter. That's really the only cheat thing that I actually use. If you don't count speed up, which I don't. Honestly, speed up ends up hurting me more often than it helps, but it's just such a quality of life item that I still can't help it. Got a lot of experience for Cobra using those 2 girls. I think there are some other fights that I'm blanking on that are those special encounters. I then go to progress the story, running past the girl whose dad is being held hostage. I think Team Galactic is one of the better evil organizations in Pokemon. Even if they're not the most realistic goal-wise, what they do is very similar to what actual groups do. They take hostages, they use violent explosives in areas that are famous landmarks. Yeah, I think in some later generations you get, oh, we're going to rule the world by creating giant laser cannon or something. And one game, they literally showed all these buildings having been knocked over from a crystal being ripped out of the ground. But I think Galactic feels more cruel because their methods are a lot more real. Anyways, my first encounter of this area was Kingler. Ended up poisoning him. I guess I had used Cobra and then switched to ASMR. But I realized that I might not be able to catch him and or have him die of poisoning before he killed ASMR. Might be misremembering this, but I think that was what was going through my brain at the time. I do still try and catch it. Yeah, I switched to Ball, which I think was a bad idea. Last chance Pokeball, didn't work. He cast Spiderweb, which does nothing, and he died. On the bright side, that gave Ball a decent chunk of experience. The other encounter is right on the bridge, because while Team Galactic won't let you past the bridge, they do let you on the bridge. And technically, this whole area is part of one big route that I can access. I really do try to make use of every possible encounter I can as early as I can. And this time it yielded me a Gloom. I guess ASMR had Poison Sting. Since I had been able to get it to red health immediately, I just Pokeballed it. It wasn't poison, so I had all the time in the world. It was a level 5. What was it gonna do? I had a bunch of Pokeballs. I think in total I had 7 normal Pokeballs and 1 Premier Ball. It did take quite a few. It took more Pokeballs to catch this Gloom than it took to catch Dragonite. And actually, I didn't have... I must have had less. I don't remember how many I had. Anyways, I did end up catching Gloom. And it was a normal type. Exciting. Whoa. I'm trying to remember what I call it. Because I don't... Do I just call it something like flower? I try and give Pokemon that are monotype normal really mundane names. Just to emphasize the fact that that's what they are. They're normal. That's why I called that one Charmander, which was it was a normal dragon type, and I called it literal because it becomes a Charizard, which would keep that normal dragon typing. Actually, that might not have been from this session. That might have been from an off-camera session altogether. I don't recall. Either it's something that you've already seen, it's something you will see, or it's something you won't see. Aloe. Like aloe vera. That's what I called it. Overgrowth. Powers up grass type moves in a pinch. Meh ability. All around, Aloe was kind of a meh Pokemon. At least it had to protect, but still. Hyperfang isn't the worst. And I actually had to pull up a wiki page on Nature Power because I didn't quite understand it. I don't want to have to look up every single battle I'm in. Just like type in what kind of environment is this and what will Nature Power do. Because it's not based off the weather, it's based off of where you are fighting. Which seemed convoluted. This is where I go to finally face the Team Galactic Grunt. I saw from the gym leader that I was more overleveled than I figured. I should just breeze through what I can until it's less easy to catch up with where I'm at, difficulty-wise. Right, he locked himself in. He tells us where the other key is, which is by the guy who sells honey. So we have to go over there, fight the two of them one after the other, which was a concern. But I figured, I have over-leveled water-type Pokemon with Water Spout. What was the worst that could happen? I mean, it's not like they're going to have Pokemon that could murderize ASMR, right? That'd be crazy. Rock Tomb does nothing. As planned, Water Spout annihilates Weavile. And then it's time for the other Grunt, who I believe have two Pokemon. Spheal was the first one. And ASMR obliterates Spheal. The final Pokemon, Furret, and I annihilated it in one hit. ASMR grew to level 24, blah 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 blah. They run away, we get the key. Honey Guy gives me honey. I do end up running to the Honey Guy's house just to check and see whether there was anything else for me. There wasn't. In the future, I think I might do the same thing I've been doing for my streams, which is write down a quick list of things to talk about. That way, anytime there's a moment of silence, I can just look down and think, here's the next thing to talk about. Oh, looks like I did some training before going into the hideout. I see, it was to get battery up. Because based off of my rules, I had an excuse to use ASMR for Switch training. I think I pretty quickly get over that and move on. While I do some training, I guess now would be a good time to mention my channel has a Discord. And I've been hosting monthly art events. Check that out in the description. Last month, it was the Soul Weapon Challenge. You create a weapon that represents yourself. My example piece was, say, halberd. Felt it was a good aesthetic thing. There's something I really do like about halberds. Gives you advantages of an axe and a spear, but blah 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 blah. I'm sure you don't want to hear me talk too much about weapons in my Pokemon Nuzlocke playthrough. Although if you're interested, I do also make weapons out of wood. So far I've made a sword out of my last Christmas tree. Check out my Christmas tree video. my Christmas blade video, I should say. It wasn't a sword, it was a dagger. I made a dagger out of my Christmas tree. This upcoming Christmas, I'm making a wand. So check that out next Christmas. Keep your eyes peeled. I've also been making swords for people. There's one I've been making for myself, obviously. Ember Hunter, another YouTuber, had asked me to make him a more European style sword. I have it all cut out. I just need to attach the pieces together and do some finalized work. Hopefully I can get around to finishing that now that college is over. Well, kind of over. I am transferring to another school. I just am taking a semester off. There's going to be a temporary increase to production, and then it's probably going to drop again in a month or two. Also interesting to note, and I'll have the link for this in the description, I created a website. Check it out. My website is meant to be a portfolio for people to look at what I've done, but it's also a place where you can check out the biggest project I have been doing so far and probably will do for quite a long while, which is going to be the description of the evil Pokemon organization for a hypothetical game I'm making. I've been getting voice acting. I've been hiring professional artists to make the characters. It's a big deal, at least it is for me. I'm very excited to show everyone. And right now you can see all the wonderful art that the artist has done so far. I think their name is Nephelibatha. Check them out on Twitter? I'll have to pull up that information. I'll link all their stuff in the description. And I also write down a lot of the information about the characters. If you'd rather be surprised and just wait for the video to come out, that's fine too. Still working on it, still gotta get a lot of the audio files sent to me. Until then, it is what it is. And here we are finally getting to the Mars fight, the first galactic commander. Yeah, that's right, because that guy failed to keep us out, he got demoted, I guess? Something happened.
The guy in the back, you don't get to fight until, like, post-game, and even then, I don't remember if you actually get to fight him. He's the commander added in Platinum that wasn't there for Diamond or Pearl. Commander Pluto. I'm not that excited about him. The ASMR murderized that guy. He murderized Ursaring. As you can see, overleveled. I didn't mean for that to happen. That's what happened. After beating them, father came by and thanked me. Daughter came by and told us how much her dad stink. And that was the end of that. I'm gonna end it here for now. Thank you so much for watching. I have so much appreciation for anyone and everyone who takes the time out of their day to watch the stuff I make. Check out my Discord. If you like the video, then click the like button. If you want to see more of what I do, click subscribe. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and goodbye.